up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow.
Tyler and Lara, just a little commentary by the director, producer of the film. I love you guys. You guys are great. Lara, take good care of him. He's kind of a schmuck. He doesn't have a concept of time or place. But you guys are good folk. Don't worry, we'll hang out a lot. Lots. But work hard at your marriage, because it's a lot of work. Not that I know. But I've had friends that didn't go quite as well. You know that. So enjoy that, and I love you guys, all right? Yeah. Go ahead. Table up. Let's go. Oh, louder, louder. Oh, crazy Canadian rituals. Give him a shot, Tyler, for the camera. Oh, we got to the back of Tyler's head.
Again, turn one this way.
Put the camera in place. Just go right up there. Zoom in.
Go do a long one. I'll do a panning shot.
I remember you playing once.
There, go. I'm good. Give me something longing. Oh, yeah, that was great.
We're going to have a little competition here between the Simmons. As you can see, however, we're outnumbered. It's 4-2, so we're going to have some other reinforcements. So we're going to, on the house side, we're going to go to the just a couple of the cousins. Rob Porter, would you please come up here? And Dave Taylor. We have 8 people up here. The competition actually is going to be an individual competition, so the teams don't really matter. But I just want to get the swing of it. Well, this is what we're going to do. The person you feel has the greatest story, clap the loudest, and that will be the winner. And now we have prizes. I mean, this will be an incentive of motivation to all of our contestants. I have in my hand here an official Joseph Smith Memorial 2-hour validation. The winner will get this, okay? So first up, our first contestant, Sean Paulson.
After my mission, I stopped wearing the scoop neck garments. I decided I liked the crew neck, cotton t-shirt style undergarment. I was missing a pair or two that I just couldn't find. I figured, well, I was sometimes at BYU, sometimes at home doing laundry, and I just couldn't find those pairs. Laura came home from school that day and I figured out where that missing crew neck garment. How many times she wore it. Probably the nicest, cleanest white t-shirt she had.
One experience I do remember in particular with Tyler was when we were both pretty young. We had a rule in our house about biting. And my mom always told us if we ever bit anyone, she would bite us. So,
What a good mother, huh? How did we make it this far?
one day Tyler bit me. And we were really young. I went crying to my mom. Look what Tyler's done to me. He's bit me. My mom was so furious about the whole thing. She didn't even listen. Grabbed my arm, thinking I was the one who bit Tyler, and bit me right on top of the other one. Tyler went his merry way, thinking this is the greatest rule in the world.
this story. So. It kind of go on for a while, though, if I can remember, Mom. One was my dad and Laura and I, we were driving through Utah, and Laura wakes up in the car, and she goes, "Hey, Dad, what's all the salsa in the middle of the road?" Because we had seen so many, what do you call it? Roadkill. She was just asking, why is there so much salsa? Okay.
Lots of people make that mistake.
I just remember a time in our bathroom having this horrid smell, and I opened the cupboards underneath the sink, and there is this half-eaten can of sardines just left there. She'd actually eaten them. Oh, okay, Scott reminded me of another one. Lara wondered, wait, I'm not really sure how it goes. Okay, on the mustard, how there's that little bit of liquid that forms at the top, and you shake it up so you can make sure the mustard gets out. The mustard would not come out. And
I just went into the sink. She just squeezed off the water.
yeah, I just thought you squeezed off the water before you put the mustard on. That's why the mustard will never come out. Okay. Lara also could find remains of spoons with Crisco dipped in sugar, but you wouldn't find many remains actually.
Letting me know these things is why we did this before the wedding.
I think she still likes it because if you give her any sort of cake, all the frosting is gone off her before anything else. Or she'll eat the extra piece of frosting that's left on people's plates. Lara also loves Starburst, and she can eat at least a whole bag of Starburst in one sitting while watching a movie.
Most of you have probably heard that he's a very talented singer and dancer.
We like to see it.
And you know, I think he must have had this awe-inspiring goal to become something of it, maybe on Broadway or something, because he got real excited with his dancing skills after he learned to swing dance a little bit. He would take me out into the backyard, put some Neil Diamond music on,
That's when you swing to it.
and try to swing dance to Neil Diamond. The other thing he got excited about was, I'm not sure if you guys have seen the movie Oklahoma, and there's this musical number, It's All or Nothing. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that or not. But Tyler one day was determined to learn all the words to this song. And so we got the movie out, we wound it over and over till he got all the words memorized, and then he got my grandpa's old Stetson hat that was a little too small for his head, and made me get on this cowgirl skirt, and we had to perform it in front of our home.
If the Boston should win this, it's really because of the source material we're working with. This story is actually an example of where Lara really gets this material, where we get this material, and where Lara ended up with it. Just to say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now Sean, after he graduated from BYU, he started school up at the U and started attending the singles ward there. And he got a new bishop named Bishop Reese, who happens to be a friend of mine, his father. So he came home to eat Sunday dinner with the family. And he comes home and is just explaining how he got a new bishopric. And it was a big deal. And then he started telling about the individual members. He says, and Bishop Reese, and my mom interrupts him and goes, Sean, no, you said Bishop Rick. No. No, his name's Bishop Reese. And Liar Church said, Sean, you said Bishop Rick.
I don't want to ruin Tyler's stature in the new garage. Many of you may not know, Tyler has a tendency to exaggerate, to fib. Many of you may not know, Tyler, when he was young, apparently, met the prophet. And the prophet placed his hands on Tyler's head and said, he'll be the next prophet. So when that does happen, try to forget these stories. I wasn't aware I was going to be doing this, by the way, so I thought through my head and of things I could tell about Tyler. There's many. Tyler lives in his own world. September 11th, for example, at 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Tyler storms the door and says, guys, did you hear what happened? But the real story I was thinking of was last summer, Tyler and I, we were rooming together, and we were going to go hike Timpanogos. And it was getting pretty late, like 1 o'clock in the morning, we had to get up at 3. We're getting to the state where we're getting kind of laughy. And we go in our room, we just got a new roommate. Tyler and I were on a bunk bed. I was above Tyler, he was below me. And our new roommate, Jim, was across the room. Tyler was a little hesitant to go in the room. He said, Robert, are you coming to bed? I said, just go to bed. I'll be in there in a second. He said, but the new guy's in there. I said, well, so what? He said, well, what's he going to do to me? I don't even know him. So we went into the room together. The lights went off. That was Tyler's job, was turning off the lights. And I did it well. And he did. He did a fine job. To your credit. I'll be proud one day. But the lights came off, and I was kind of getting in bed. I fell asleep pretty quick, so I was kind of dozing off, and I kind of hear a giggle. And then Tyler all of a sudden climbing into my bed with me. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm scared. What's he going to do to me? So it's good to know that.
Not to destroy complete faith in all of those of you who, like Richard, have pegged Laura as the intellectual. I think this story goes kind of along with the Bishop Rick story. We're driving down the road. It's Laura, me, Chandra, and my mom. And Chandra exclaims, hey, wait a minute, that sign doesn't say pedexing. It says pedestrian crossing. And Laura goes, no. It says pedzing, Chandra. Pedzing.
All right, for those of you who didn't know, I used to live at the house for quite some time, and while I lived there, we'd always play this game called Rook. All right, it's this card game where I'll kind of explain what happened. While Tyler was gone, out of the room, we switched all his cards and gave him a perfect hand. We kind of thought that he'd walk right in and be like, oh, you guys, you switched all my cards, but. He came in, he was all serious, and his eyes lit up. And when you start playing this game, you kind of say how many points you think you'll get. And Tyler's like, oh, we're gonna get them all. And we keep playing this game, and the whole time we're just trying to, keep from laughing while Tyler's over there so content. and we get to the end of the game, and Tyler's like, yeah, I played great. And we finally tell him, and Tyler's like, so ashamed. I didn't know people could be that. But it was just fun to share.
Okay, here we go. Again, to your applause for the best story of the night, okay? We have the Rook Gang. proud owner of a Joseph Smith Memorial parking validation. This is it. Top 10 reasons why Tyler and Laura want to get married. Okay, from the home office in Provo, Utah, top 10 reasons why Tyler and Laura want to get married. Here we go. Okay, number 10. They both have been evicted from their home bedrooms. Number 9. Tyler hopes marriage will generate some beard growth. Laura hears that the Howes give great clothes to daughters-in-laws on birthdays and Christmas. Number 7. They both want to help Gail Howe get Lori Howe and the future Laura Howe names straight. Number 6. So Tyler will not be tempted to steal his father's socks, shirts, film, CDs, cologne, shaving cream, razors, belts, tripods, books, and underwear. If you're concerned, just for your information, Tyler has repented and has been cleared by his bishop, state president, and the area authority, and he can get married tomorrow. Number 5. Tyler thinks a honeymoon would be a nice change of pace from working in the MTC. Number 4. After knowing each other since the 3rd grade, they think they have each other figured out. Number 3. After a 4-day backpack trip, they have seen each other at the worst, and it's still okay. Number 2. They want to prove to the world that 2 absent-minded people can produce a normal child. We'll be waiting with anticipation for that. And the number 1 reason Tyler and Laura want to get married is 4 words. They love each other. Tyler, I don't know if you know this, but he has prepared, Mikel mentioned his singing talent. Tyler has prepared a lovely singing musical number, Climb Every Mountain. He's got a great vibrato too, make sure that, but if he doesn't want to do that, Tyler has done a marvelous little poem that, for Laura, and excuse me?
It's a song.
What's the song? Excuse me. Don't bite me. Okay, so we'll turn the time over to Tyler to respond to everything that has been given to him and Laura. Of course, Gail, I'm getting to you. I don't want to get it. Okay, so Tyler and Laura, the time is now yours.
Well, my dad told me to start this off that we may be burned and that we'd have a chance to rebuttal. Quite honestly, it's all the truth. I'm not going to say it from my marriage on, so it's the truth. This actually was a wedding gift to Laura. I promise you I wouldn't have written it had I known I would have to do it right now. But it's just a few thoughts, especially, mainly from our friendship throughout our lives. From going to school, long before we ever dated or anything along those lines, we were very best friends. And she taught me calculus. I beat her on the test. She'd take notes in the biology classes while they were boring biology classes. I dozed at times. But I consider her, and not just now that I'm prepared to marry, but throughout my life, my greatest friend. But my sister, Robin. Took a lot of work. My Laura, roses are red, violets are blue. I'm so glad I'm married. That's Robert. My Laura sonnet. Explain again the reasons you love me. I smiled because I've told her this before. Just once again, I want to hear it more. She knows as well as I do, hopefully. She dances in the rain excitedly. Without her shoes as she goes out the door, she smiles mischievously and asks what for. She studies long, but often quits for me. She's beautiful, kind, thoughtful, and sincere, and helps me reach the furthest that I may. A problem will she never fail to mend. She smiles and makes all words disappear. I love her so, I wish I knew to say, my Laura, oh my dearest friend.
Tyler went to ask my dad. My dad told him that I'm sure you want to touch half of mine. I didn't write a home. But more as a rebuttal, I just like to say thank you first to my parents and then to the house for just being wonderful to me and for helping me prepare this and just prepare for this. And then just to tell you that I love you and one of the men in my life is very supportive. And I'm grateful for that.
We want to thank the house for how wonderful they've been to our daughter. And he may say that the neighbors know the Paulsons and they get a few comments once in a while, but I want you to know that I went to a National Writing Program Administrators Conference, and Darris Howe was quoted at that conference. I was pretty impressed. We love Tyler. He stole my heart in high school when he started calling me Mom. And so I could never figure out why Laura ever dated anybody else. And so just extremely grateful that they finally got together because we love Tyler very much and want to welcome him to our family. It's been mentioned that Laura is great source material. I thought that I'd mention some of the sources of the source material. And the way to do that is to mention some of her favorite books that she had growing up. And by doing so, I think you'll understand some of her talents, her preferences, her personality as they were formed at a very young age. Before I mention that, though, let me mention that Laura barely has skimmed through and made it to this evening. She had, I think it was yesterday, 2 papers due, 2 finals due, 2 books to read and write book reviews on. It's been a very crazy semester, but Laura's very focused and can achieve anything she wants to do. My first indication of that was probably when she was at a dance class. She was about 3 years old. My kids all did Virginia Tanner dance, but before that, they would do more of a neighborhood thing. This woman had a wonderful sort of studio downstairs overlooking a stream. And they were supposed to act like chipmunks. So everybody jumps around, acting like chipmunks, and I can't find Laura. And I go, where is she? And she's in a corner. She's going, I mean, the other kids were acting like chipmunks. Laura was a chipmunk. Her favorite book sort of gives an indication of her predilections towards visual arts, which sort of accounts for her art history major. And she always loved colors, as shown by this book, which is so well worn that the cover's missing. And it's called Red is Best. My mom doesn't understand about red. I like my red stockings the best. My mom says, wear these. Your white stockings look good with that dress. But I can jump higher in my red stockings. I like my red stockings the best. It goes on. I like red paint the best. My mom says, but Laura, there's hardly any red paint left. Maybe you should use orange instead. But red paint puts singing in my head. I like red paint the best. I like red because red is best. When Laura was also about 3 years old, we were invited to Chandra's dance class to kind of observe. It was a parent observation day. And the teacher was reading from this book, I Thought I Saw. And And Laura was just on the edge of her seat, just about ready to burst. And it's a book I had read to her, and I knew it was a book that she liked. We went through some of the teacher read through some of the beginning things. I'll show you how this book works. I thought I saw a stallion gallop across the sky. I pinched myself and looked again. A cloud was scurrying by. So you think you see one thing and you see something else. It goes through this thing. At the very end, it says, it's falling apart, also well done. Things are not always what they seem. You're never bored. Take it away, Laura.
You can hold it
So the teacher was trying to read it, and all of a sudden, this little 3-year-old does what Lauren just did now. It finishes off the whole thing. I had no idea she had it memorized. She had the entire book memorized. She's always had a great memory for whether it be The Simpsons or lyrics or whatever. Just a fabulous memory. She lives life pretty much as a poem in Reflections on the Gift of Watermelon talks about. It's the first poem in the book. This was also one of Laura's favorite books. And it's called How to Eat a Poem. It's also How to Eat Life by Search, okay? Don't be polite, bite in. Pick it up with your fingers and lick the juice that may run down your chin. It is ready and right now, whenever you are. And I think Laura has lived life to its fullest and just jumped in and experienced it and celebrated life. Laura loves nature, whether it be, as Howie said, dancing in the rain in her bare feet, watching the stars come out. This was one of her favorite books. Ricky Levinson, Watch the Stars Come Out. Talks about a little girl who is an immigrant. And when they're aboard the ship coming over, they live underneath the deck. And so the little girl can't see the stars come out at night. She finally makes it to America, to make a long story short, and it ends by saying, I kissed Mom and Sister goodnight. Papa patted me on my head and said I was his little princess. I went into our room and climbed into Sister's bed. It was right next to the window. I watched the stars come out, 1, 2, 3. Now, raising someone with all of this exuberance and interest in life was a little bit tough in that Laura never wanted to go backwards. In other words, she never wanted to pick things up. And so trying to convince her to to slow down and collect things was a bit of a challenge. And so I finally found this book. It's called If Everybody Did. And I don't know if Laura ever knew why I would read her the story, but she liked it. When there's only one, that's just somebody. But when there's one and one and one and more, that's everybody. Did you ever think of what would happen if everybody did things like make muddy tracks? This is what would happen if everybody did. Spill tacks. This is what would happen if everybody did. Pull off a bud. This is what would happen if everybody did. It just goes through all of these things to the end where it says, but when there's only one when there's one who leaves no tracks, one who doesn't use tacks, one who smells a bud, one who steps over the mud, and it goes through all these things. This is what would happen if everybody did. I'm not sure it's effective, but I felt better about it. But Laura's very favorite book, on which I'll close, is When the Sky is Like Lace. And this one is so loved that it's disappeared from our home, and I had to get this from the library today. On a voluminous night, on a bimulous night, the sky is like lace. Do you know how it looks when it's bimulous and the sky is like lace? It doesn't happen often, but when it does, kaboom, and everything is strange, splendid, and plum purple. If you plan to go out on a bimulous night and the sky is like lace, here's some rules you must remember. Never talk to a rabbit or a kissing gourami. If your nose itches, don't scratch it. Wear nothing that is orange, not even underneath. And if you have a lucky penny, put it in your pocket because On bimulus nights when the sky's like lace and the otters are singing and the snails are sulking and the trees are dancing and the grass is like gooseberry jam, it's a good idea to be prepared because you never know. So my wish for Laura and Tyler as well is that they have many bimulus nights and no orange underwear. and that their whole life is bimulus.
I think one thing I've learned today is that I just compliment everybody, all of Tyler's friends, by saying you're his favorite. Really, I think all of you are our favorites. And we're grateful to have you here to share this night with us and to celebrate two wonderful people. I'm proud to say that I know Tyler's name, but I wasn't sure for many years. He was always known as Howie. And I think the only family that ever knew him was Howie was us, except Laura had this friend that she gave the name Howie to, and her greatest moment was when she found out that the teachers had that in their roll book. His name was Howie in the Skyline roll books. And actually, I used to kid Deirdre when we were on our mission. She was writing to a missionary. I didn't know if it was proper for her to be writing to a missionary in the Argentine mission. But she didn't even know what his last name was, because we didn't know what his last name was. We didn't know Hal or Hal or everyone else got to tell favorite stories about Laura. We had a friend in our ward, Sister Raymond, and then one time Laura went over and we played with the Mangum girls, and when we came to pick Laura up, she said, "Does she ever quit singing?" And that to me is a little bit of Laura. She's always singing in her heart. She's a happy person. She's been she frustrates a lot of her siblings in some of these trail that Deirdre talks about. She never wants to go backwards. But she gets mad for about 9.5 minutes. And then she's happy again, and it's like nothing ever happened. It's all past. And I wish I had that trait in my life. Actually, I have a thank you I want to give, and I think it's to her 9th grade English teacher. Laura, with her mind going every which way, would do a lot of homework, but she would never hand it in. And I believe it was her 9th grade English teacher kicked her out of honors English because probably she didn't hand in all this homework. So she said she's not very good. And we growled about it, and finally she went out and made Laura mad. And I don't think she's had anything less than an A- through high school and college because of that 9th grade English teacher. And I don't even know the English teacher's name. Like, we're kind of mad at her anyway. But Laura is that way. When she makes up her mind, she does it. And I'm grateful for that, Laura. I'm grateful that I can be here this night. I'm proud of all my children. Perhaps what I'm proud about most is who they've chosen for their mates. And I'm proud of each one of them. I'm especially proud for Laura that she was finally able to sell her Howie. Now he becomes Tyler. And I think a little better as she is in this moment. Laura, we love you.
Before we came, I told Darius I would talk 30 seconds and no longer, but I've changed my mind. You're getting so many wonderful thoughts going. Before Tyler was born, when I was pregnant with I had one boy, and I wanted in the worst way a little girl. And we didn't have ultrasounds, and I didn't know, and it was about 3 weeks before he was born. And I had a dream. I've had 2 of these in my life that just move you beyond talking about it almost. But in this dream, I had a little baby boy in my arms. And I was crying, and I had to leave this baby boy behind. And I remember Darius came up to me and I said, I didn't know I could love a boy like this. And I told him about it the next morning. He says, well, do you think this is real? And it was a very important dream. But my worldly intuitions wanted a girl, so it wasn't real. 3 weeks later, I had Tyler. And he only had jaundice, but he had to stay at the hospital. You'd think I was losing my child to death. I remember I'd run in and nurse him, and then I'd try and go home and do something. I'd go back and nurse him. And when I'd leave him, I would just sob. And I'd hold this boy in my arm and think, I didn't know, and I remembered the dream, that I could love a boy like this. Well, he's been a joy ever since. When he went out on dates, he would come home after at 11 o'clock or 12, and if Darius was up doing something, Tyler, I could hear the door shut, he'd walk down the hall, and then I'd hear this run, 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 and he'd jump over to my bed and do a somersault like a log and land on the bed. And he'd say, hi, Mom, are you awake? And we'd talk and talk. One other memory was about 6 or 7 years ago, and I was at Marie Callender's, and this darling, bubbly, blonde girl I'd met once came up, and she said, hi, Sister Hal, I'm Laura, and I know your son, Tyler. And I said to her, I like that girl. We've got to get her to marry my son. Now, you think that's funny, but I did it once before with Jason Lori. And so we've done everything we could for 6 years to make sure she liked us, even if she didn't like him. And we are thrilled at the result, which has nothing to do with us, thank heavens, but we are thrilled. My 3rd child, I haven't picked out a spouse for yet, so let me know. The last comment I wanted to share with you is the thrill I have of being included into this wonderful Paulson family. We went and had a shower on Monday night and met most of those relatives and the immediate family. I called Deirdre 5 times a day. That might slow down after tomorrow, I don't know. And I tell her stories about what's going wrong and what's going right. It's like we've been best friends for 20 years. And the goodness in that home and the love in that home, it feels, when Tyler said that, it feels like our home. Not that that's necessarily right, but it's always good to feel this thing. We love you, and I'm thrilled for the opportunity my child has to be part of you. And I'm just excited for tomorrow.
We want to thank all of you. To a great extent, what Tyler and Laura are because of the influence that each of you have had on their lives. And I just had one closing thought that, after knowing my son and getting to know Laura, what a dear, sweet young woman she is. If I was a spirit in the pre-existence, I can't think of 2 parents that I would rather come down to than Tyler and Laura. I mean, just think what a wonderful environment, what a wonderful learning, spiritual experience it will be for those sweet spirits that come into this union here. So we're excited, and we have hope that there will be a normal child that comes from this. Thank you again. We do stay as long as you want. The food's all paid for, so we're in good shape. But we really appreciate all of you being here. We're looking forward to tomorrow and for a great day. Thanks.
Ah yes, ritualistic feasts are over, and now we get down to the part that actually means something. Bride and the groom coming together, holy matrimony, here in the temple. As millions of passerbys wait patiently, and Tyler's annoying brother, Jason, yells something at me
A lot of good stuff that you saw up in the sky.
as he tries to make fun of what will become one of the greatest documentaries of all time.
What a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like a lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I,
Hey everybody, it's family night. We're gonna have a very good night. Now we prepare ourselves for what for many is the, I guess I would say, most dreaded part of the evening, because you've been doing the rituals for so long that this just seems one more annoying ritual to go through. Still, you need the gifts. Am I right? Am I right? Tyler and Laura, just a little background on where you had your reception, the Beehive House there, and here's the Lion House, which is the official side of the reception. I don't know if you know this, the Lion House is, I guess you could say, haunted. Back when Parky Partridge had his family here with his 18 wives. Little known fact, he was eventually excommunicated due to the fact that he murdered one of his wives. It's said that this house is haunted not only by her, also by a pet goat they used to have, which rampages around the house there. And this Beehive House here was used for pagan killings. And a little jazz combo there hits it. Of course, you know, Ty, you could have had me and Ryan playing some punk ska at your wedding for free. Free, Ty. Punk ska wedding. But I guess really, it's your loss. We all could have been skanking. Alright, Ty, they might be a little bit better than us, but it's still not punk ska. There's the full line. Enjoy that, Ty. It's probably not going to stop all night.
Hey, Lord, take a look on around tonight and find where my baby is gonna be. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight, 'cause she is far across the sea. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight and make sure that she's gonna be alright and things are gonna be alright with me. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight and make sure that all her dreams are sweet. Said now, would you guide her along the roads and make them soft for her feet. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight and make sure that she's gonna be alright until she's home and here with me. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight if she is sleeping under the sky. Said now, make sure the ground she's sleeping on is always warm and dry. Don't you give her too much rain, try to keep her away from pain, because my baby hates to cry. Hey, Lord, would you look out for her tonight, 'cause it gets rough along the way.
And so, Tyler, we bring to an end the decoration of your car. Now, what's your name?
Eric.
Eric. Eric offered very much help in our great time of need. Note the elaborate saran wrap and the toilet paper that, yes, runs under the car. The Just Married, as well as, let's see if we can focus in here. Well, you can't read it, but it says Hagamos el amor. Tyler, I really hope you appreciate what I just went through for that. Your brother and your other cousins sold out. They didn't help me. I'm all out of breath now. Who knows, maybe I've missed the important stuff at your wedding. You better not be mad too, I didn't do it very hard. So enjoy. Well, Tyler, as you can see, hasn't died down at all. You're just waiting before you walk out to your car, sucko. Big treat. Enjoy that one. It's not that bad, really. Oh, well, just a sec. Before I get back there, look at Jason. He's already untucked his dang shirt. Lazy piece of crap. I'm still wearing the suit coat, Ty. Still wearing the suit coat. Now comes the ritual. Memorable occasion.
You both have your hands together.
This is a team effort. What a foot to start with.
Arrows 2 and 2.
Mitchell? What? Okay. Welcome to play.
This is where the fun begins.
He's looking at you. Hey, we missed the forks.
Oh, look at that guy in the mirror.
Oh, you don't use forks?
We missed the forks. Is this concern anyone else?
You would be the first person to choose your support.
Be sweet, honey, be sweet.
What a letdown, huh?
That's so sweet, I got it.
Now we get ready for the throwing of the bouquet. I'll try to follow it like a golf ball.
It's just us two, there's more
Oh, look at all those ladies. There he goes. Oh, I'm so nervous. Oh, I'm so nervous. Here we go. Here we go. It's a race. It's a race. And the Raquel grabs it. Nice. Nice effort. There's our happy winner. Victorious.
I hear the drizzle of the rain, like a memory it falls, soft and warm, continuing, tapping on my roof and walls. And from the shelter of my mind, through the window of my eyes, I gaze beyond the rain-drenched streets to England, where my heart lies. My mind's distracted and diffused. My thoughts are many miles away. They lie with you when you're asleep, and kiss you when you start your day. And a song I was writing is left undone. I don't know why I spend my time writing songs I can't believe, with words that tear and strain to rhyme.